The Disturbing Life of Pharaohs in Ancient Egypt. A 15-minute sleep-friendly history story. Soft ambient hum fades in. Gentle desert wind sound. Welcome to Boring History for Sleep. Tonight, we travel back, more than 3,000 years, to the banks of the Nile River, a land of gold, temples, and silent tombs. The home of the Pharaohs, the god-kings of ancient Egypt. The birth of a god. Imagine being born, and from your first breath, you are told you are divine, not human, but a living god. From the moment a young prince was chosen as heir, his life was no longer his own. Tutors and priests watched every movement. He learned to speak carefully, to walk slowly, and to never show emotion. A future pharaoh could not laugh too loudly. He could not cry. Even joy and sadness were measured, for gods did not behave like mortals. His food was pure, his clothing sacred. Every day he was reminded, he did not belong to himself but to the gods and to the land of Egypt. When dawn came, the palace stirred. Servants moved quietly through long stone halls, their sandals whispering on cool limestone floors. The pharaoh's morning began with purification. Priests would pour sacred water over his body, bathing him in silence. Oils scented with lotus and myrrh were rubbed onto his skin. His eyes were painted with black coal, a line drawn perfectly to honor Horus, the falcon god. He did not dress himself. He did not choose his breakfast. Every act, eating, washing, speaking, was part of a ritual, an offering to the divine order known as Ma'at, the balance of the world. To rule Egypt meant maintaining this balance. If the pharaoh failed, the Nile might not flood, the crops might wither, and the people might starve. Imagine that weight, each morning, resting quietly on your shoulders. The palace was grand, but it was never peaceful. Every hallway echoed with footsteps. Scribes recorded every word. Guards stood motionless beside columns carved with your own face. Even when alone, you were never truly alone. Behind every curtain, someone watched. A servant, a priest, a spy for your rivals. The air smelled of incense and dust. Outside, the sun burned white across the sand. You might think of the common people, farmers, builders, fishermen, living freely along the riverbanks. They bowed to you, but they also laughed, sang, and slept without fear of divine failure. You, the living Horus, could not. Power, in Egypt, required purity. The pharaoh could eat only certain foods. His utensils were blessed. Even his breath was thought to carry sacred power. Some pharaohs were forbidden to touch common objects. Others could not walk barefoot on ordinary ground. They wore heavy crowns, sometimes two stacked together, symbols of Upper and Lower Egypt. These crowns caused headaches in the heat, but removing them was unthinkable in public. Even the pharaoh's sleep was ritualized. His bed faced the rising sun. Before resting, he recited prayers to ensure the gods would protect him in the realm of dreams. And yet, despite all ceremony, many pharaohs died young. Arthritis, infections, parasites, the gifts of ancient medicine. Even Tutankhamun, the boy king, was crippled and frail, his body a map of pain hidden beneath gold wrappings. The curse of immortality pharaohs spent their lives preparing for death. From their first years, they began designing their tombs, vast chambers of stone filled with treasure, food, and even servants to serve them in eternity. Imagine knowing that your greatest legacy would be underground. The walls of your tomb would show your victories, your hunting, your offerings to the gods. But they would never show your exhaustion, your loneliness, your human side. As the years passed, construction continued day and night. Thousands of laborers, stonemasons, and artists worked by torchlight to carve your eternal home. Some never lived to see it finished. And when the day came, your mummification began. Priests removed your organs, placed them in jars guarded by protective spirits. Your body was wrapped, layer after layer, in linen and resin. Also your soul, the Ka, could live forever. But forever for the pharaoh was darkness and silence, an eternity alone. Centuries later, their tombs were broken open. Gold stolen, bodies unwrapped, the faces of gods turned to dust. Yet their names remain: Rameses, Akhenaten, Cleopatra, Tutankhamun, whispered through the ages. The irony is quiet, but clear. The pharaohs who spent their lives chasing eternity found peace only when forgotten. So as you drift now into your own dreams, imagine the pharaohs, the kings of sand and stone, at last laying down their crowns. The temples silent, the incense fading, the gods asleep, the Nile still flows, the desert still waits. And somewhere, deep beneath the dunes, a pharaoh sleeps too. Good night, and may your kingdom of dreams be lighter than theirs.